What's up, man?
Hey.
DJ Creap here with the homie Rocko
Stedy.
Up here.
I want to make a shout out to reupspot.com, Creap, for doing the honors and taking the time out of his day to come interview me. It's a pleasure.
Indeed, indeed. Where are we sitting at right now?
Sunrise Studios, you're in the gray room. This is my second home. The gentleman here on my right is Delray Williams. He's
Hard work.
Exclusive engineer that's in charge of my sound, and he's been diligently and patiently working with me throughout the whole course of the last 5 months, and I've seen tremendous growth.
So you're working on a full-length record right now?
I'm working on several things, including a full-length album. Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. How many releases have you done in the past couple of years? Or
what's really interesting is I've never released it.
never released a record?
Never released a record.
Oh shit. Well,
There's a lot of things floating around as promotional use.
yeah.
I've been an MC damn near my life, since I was 10 years old, and I really haven't released a record, which goes to show that I never really felt right, and this time I feel right, and I wanted to really treat my art the way that I treated my art.
Definitely. I understand that, man. I've gone on a 1 or 2 year hiatus from even recording anything and just played shows. Like, whenever you feel like, I felt like I was losing my, creative juice or whatever.
Yeah.
Just kind of worn out being in the studio every night. Like, I walked back in here, it was a blast from the past. I remember,
you never
going face down.
Lose that, yeah.
That board over there. But yeah, I definitely understand. So how many songs have you got?
About 12, 13 cuts.
Yeah.
Probably going to only choose 10.
Right.
I'm going to keep it real short and simple.
Put the rest out on a mixtape.
A lot of value, I want to share it with those that are interested in hearing it, and really put a lot of emphasis on the value of each track with no fillers.
Okay. Who did your production?
Vance Beats, The Crates. They're based out of Germany.
Germany, huh?
Mm-hmm.
How'd you link up with them?
I actually met them via another producer out here, and I'm a big advocate of Houston. I love Houston. So when people that aren't from Houston come to Houston, I want to take them out. I want to show them a good time, and that's exactly what happened. Vans came out, and I showed them a good time. I treated them with that Southern hospitality that we're known for.
You got a new ambassador.
And I had no clue that he was a producer, and he had no clue I was an MC. And we're spending all this time together, getting to know one another, having drinks, eating, breaking bread. And at the end of it all, he tells me that he's a producer, and he puts his beats in my car, and I was blown away. And I was having a conversation with him about really capturing the essence of what I want to capture as far as my lyrics and the project that I want. Had a lot of stuff built up in my chest, as you can imagine, from somebody that's never put anything out wholeheartedly. And one day he approached me and said, "Look, man, you've treated me with hospitality. It's my turn to return the favor." And he's been nothing but supportive, nothing but very patient with me, just like Delray. I've been blessed with a good team. My team is killer. My team is dope.
Cool, man. Well, look forward to hearing that. When's it dropping?
There's no drop date. I really want to spend the time and concentrate on building relationships and promoting it effectively.
Right.
Oftentimes I see a lot of artists struggle, and I've gone through that struggle myself, and I no longer want to experience that same struggle.
So you're looking at it this year, you're looking at it as more of like a job, right?
Because this is what I love. I love this, and if I'm going to choose to invest my time into it, then I'm going to invest my money into it.
Right. What is so I watched a video earlier today. You were doing something State of Verse. You had like a summit of different.
Yeah.
The only person I recognized was Bun B,
Okay.
but that's just because that was on the tag of the YouTube video.
Yeah.
And I recognize you, of course, also.
Well, that event was a hip-hop forum entitled "What is Hip Hop?" It was featuring many legends out of the city. The city is filled with talent. For those of y'all that don't know, I want to make sure you know. For the B-boys, we have legendary Javi Coro. They're phenomenal breakdancers that travel the world and defend our city. and they've won championships. They travel to France, travel to Belgium. I mean, they're phenomenal. Look them up. Javi Coro. Article, one of the best graffiti artists I've ever witnessed. I mean, from the different elements of hip-hop, we have a lot of talented people out here. The Cracker Nuts, shout out to my family. They've been very supportive of me as well. And there's a struggle. And I wanted to collaborate with the University of Houston and allow the students to really see what I see in these people. Because a lot of times you don't get a chance to see the story. So it was completely an open forum about hip-hop. It got heated. There was some happy times during the forum, and there was definitely some frustrations that needed to come out. So we had Article, Javi Coro, we had the Cracker Nuts, and we had Bumpy.
Yeah, it was very informative. I sat and watched the whole thing, and you know, I didn't feel like I wasted 3.5 minutes or anything. It was it's pretty light, man. There's not a lot of people actually. You know, everybody says, "Oh, we're gonna bring shit together and this and that, unity, blah blah blah." Most of them are full of shit.
I mean, I feel the frustration.
Right.
You know, and these are so talented people, and they spend time on their craft to produce entertainment and art that people should appreciate. So that's why I put it together, and it opened doors, you know, to different things where people never would have seen it, and maybe that might contribute in an uproar of hip hop again. I can only do my part and just lead by example. Now, what Stay Diverse is it promotes multiculturalism within the city of Houston. As I said earlier, Houston is my city. I love this city. It has everything you could possibly want, from parks to restaurants to entertainment to the venues and resources that any citizen in America would need. Not only that, but we're such a large city, and we just recently was crowned the most diverse city in the United States of America through efforts like Stay Diverse and advocates that are part of the team. They're really spreading the message of not just let's be diverse and let's be cultural. No, it's more like let's meet, learn, do. Let's meet new people. Let's learn what they're about. And let's do it. Let's do different things, because maybe you might like something that you never thought you would like simply by meeting somebody else. And by cultivating that kind of culture, I've benefited. So I just wanted to, you know, collaborate with an organization that does the same exact thing, that benefits other people. And like I said earlier, it's just leading by example. And hell, if I can meet some new people, let's meet some new people.
I don't know, man.
Because I mean, that's just how you open doors of opportunity. It is. The more you give, the more you get back. And wise mentors of mine tell me that all the time. If I ask them, like, hey, what's a piece of advice you would give me? And they're like, oh man, give your time and do it genuinely. Don't do it with no presumption. It's all about your intention. Whether if your intention is to get it in on somebody and scam them out and screw them over, then that's the kind of energy you're going to get out of that experience. But if you're genuinely giving yourself to something, then you're going to get that whole experience right back. You know, they say it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. Well, I like to think of it like it's about what you know about who you know, and at the end of the day, it's not about what you know, it's not about who you know, it's about who knows you. And it's about what you do with that kind of reputation, because you only have one reputation. So get to know as many people and really represent yourself.
Would you say, and this is kind of goes back to, I wanted to say this like a couple of minutes ago, was do you think the face of hip-hop has changed?
The face of hip-hop has changed, for sure. Because as generations make a turn, there's going to be a major turnover as far as the generational representation of what hip-hop is. And the media depicts that. Okay. Now, it's all up to the, you know, I love golden hip-hop. I respect my history. And if it weren't for them, we wouldn't have anything. Del Rey once said something real cool. We were here late at night, 3 o'clock in the morning, and he said, he just stopped and he goes, man, I'm really thankful. And I'm like, what are you thankful for? And he's like, man, a lot of people have worked hard, their blood, sweat, and tears to transform this analog device so that students like myself, so that individuals like myself can learn to do things in an easier fashion. And he said, hopefully one day I'll be able to work that hard and change somebody else's learning experience later on. So I thought that was fly. And I think that Golden Age hip-hop set the foundation. And there's a lot of people that are frustrated and have given up. And because I feel an obligation to represent similar to this technology that's advanced, I'm going to do my part. Just in my own life, just leading by example again. The face of hip-hop has definitely changed because of the emergence of YouTube, the emergence of technology, the accessibility to equipment, to be able to set up your own home studio. The playing field is wide open. And despite the fact that the playing field is wide open, it's almost created laziness.
I definitely agree.
Even though we have all these things available to make ourselves so productive, we have a phone that's essentially better than a computer that I had back in 2003. We're lazier. And I strive every day to upgrade myself to prevent myself from being lazy.
Definitely like what you got going with the, what is it? What would you call it? Like a community outreach group, or is it?
I don't even have a brand for it. It's an organization that represents the city, and they have me as a spokesperson. It's
Nice.
not my organization.
Yeah, you just work for them?
Yeah, I just work for them.
Wow.
I mean, every single festival, let me just give you a rundown of what they have me do. They have me do an invite video where I invite people that necessarily wouldn't have gone to that event. Because oftentimes you go to a festival, it's filled with that festival's crowd. It's intimidating. You're like, oh, I'm not going to go there. There's a bunch of Polish people, a lot of Japanese people. I'm not going to fit in. You know, what I do is I extend the hand and go, hey, it's okay. Look at me. I'm there. You can come hang out with me, you know?
Yeah.
So I open the venue to other Americans and other citizens so that way they get a chance to see their culture, their clothing, their food, their language, their people, their women, whatever.
That's cool.
And despite the fact that we're very diverse, we're still very segregated.
Yeah, that's true.
Still very segregated.
Yep.
The same articles that wrote about us being the most diverse wrote about us being the most segregated.
Yeah.
So in order to maintain that stature and position of being the most diverse city, we have to bring some sort of awareness within the city, or else we're going to lose it. And if we lose that stature, then the quality, you know, our economy will drop.
Yeah,
you know,
quality of
having
life.
having that stature is dope. It increases the quality of our lives here in Houston.
Cool, man. Well, I'm glad somebody's out there repping some positive shit in 2012.
Yeah, if y'all are ever interested, just visit staydiverse.com and send us an email, and you know, we'd love to have you a part of it.
All right, cool. Well, that wraps it up. Here with Rocko Stedy.
Thank you.
Delray, what up? All right. Well, once again, you want to give any shout-outs? You guys got?
To everyone in my team. There's a lot of people in my team, and if I spend the time to say all their names, I might forget somebody. But everybody in the Stay Diverse team, the Red Pen family, the Crates, and my family. Shout out to God for all the blessings. Peace.
Cool, man. Re-up spot.